Well, the past year has been a really strange year, but I have been very lucky.
I am not going to challenge what the universe had in store for us. As storytellers, as actors, I think it's a very good time to be an artist.
You have to practice, everything happens for a reason. Obviously, it would have been great for people to see on the big screen, but I don't think people would have connected to the film the way they have if we haven't really gone through a collective apocalypse the way Fern felt at the beginning of the film.
We'll never know, but it's quite possible that if this had been released in the movie theater, first we would not have a space that we were just living in for so long. This time was especially difficult because we were at a reckoning once again in our country, and because we were in the middle of a pandemic, the world was watching. I feel that now that people are sort of hunkered down and are still, that they can really pay attention to it, really commit themselves to the story. Was it what I would have imagined would have been the way my directorial debut would have debuted? Absolutely not. We been through the trenches with this film, with almost seeming like we weren't going to be able to finish it at one time because of the pandemic. And then to be here in this space, talking to you now, knowing all of the things that had taken place, I'm grateful. Once I do a film, I'm sort of done. I walk away from it, I'm good, I go back to my life. I say that was a great experience, and that for me is the reward. But I think the good part of it is you get to talk about people of color who are in the center of a narrative. There are not enough words, not enough time to keep driving that home in a culture where there is an absolute absence of that. That's been the best part of it.
Well, the past year has been a really strange year, but I have been very lucky because I get to wake up in the morning and don't have the time to feel anxious about what is happening in the world because I have so many deadlines, and I've been working with people that I really love working with. So I consider myself very lucky.
I did expect Ma Rainey to have this level of awards journey because I was there, I saw, I conquered. Now, I say that, you don't always know that that's gonna happen because I sort of have had that feeling before when I did a movie called Get On Up. So you never know, right? But great work, in my opinion, is undeniable. When you're in the presence of it, it's undeniable. We just all set out to tell a story that was honest to the feelings that Black people have in this country. Putting a mirror up to all of us as Americans to reflect how far we haven't come in 60 years. So that was our intention.
When I was making the film, I would try not to think about any of it. It's like raising a baby and then you send them to school. You don't want to think about what happens at a time because it's scary.
And then your baby starts to go to school. So you're letting, your child out into the world, and, you want the child to be safe, and you want people to like your child, you want people to listen to your child, to hear your child, and so far those things have been happening. So it's been a gift. It's been a gift. There are so many films that I love from this season. I really like Rada Blank's 40-year-old version. I love Chloé Zhao's Nomadland. I thought it was a simple story, just beautifully shot and told.
If I have to pick one, I would say Judas and the Black Messiah by Regina King is a really, really powerful film. is emotionally complex. You can tell that he's poured his heart and soul onto the screen. There's like passion on every frame.
There's always a fear with predominantly Black narratives. You never know if the audience is going to understand it. You never know if the audience is going to be on board with going on a journey with so many Black characters when it's so culturally specific. I think that's why August wrote, too, is to say, okay, for the next hour and a half, I want you to sit with us and understand what makes us tick, what makes us complicated, what makes us the same as you, but also a little different. That's been my biggest sort of fear with Ma Rainey coming out. But I believe that it lands because there's something about him that speaks to humanity and what drives us as human beings, which is, in my opinion, worth and value, and understanding that and owning that.
I think this year's Golden Globes nominations, having 3 women, if this means more people like me get to, live their dreams of telling stories for a living, I think it's great.
It's exciting to be out at the same time with work that really is provocative, that really is speaking to stories that are prescient, if you will. The audience, the real people, and the critics have both embraced it. And I think most times it's kind of either or. It's like, okay, this is good. Maybe this might be a call to action.